the double stun combos, like Earth Spirit Kick, then Storm Bolt, and then you've got like the Split Earth. I don't know how many levels you do, and then how do you even build that mid lash? Lightning obviously is a bit of, well, ass for a while. So do you just put everything into Split Earth as well as Edict?
I'm not too sure how you play the lane anymore. I know the Lightning is still decent to just like harass and zone, especially if you have like a mid ward, because then you can get the bounces going well. And just take the towers. We'll see the approach they take though. It's very magic centric, just besides the Sven. But like you said, now they at least have that reliable stun coming out from the Zenith, and they have the follow up as well.
And this ward, it's almost becoming like the standard. Just run out to the lane, get as close to the tower as possible,
so it doesn't get de-warded.
It's always watching the off lane, but it's just so standard. These, like, I don't think there's been a single game today where that ward has not been planted for an off lane. Like, it's happening right now on the bottom lane because Radiant didn't plant theirs down.
What taunt is that I'm hearing?
It's Moon.
Is that? Oh, that's the Void taunt. I was like, why don't I recognize this one?
he's just dancing himself around. I want to see it again, like running after.
Oh, it's off lane clockwork, by the way, this time around. So they want to prioritize getting the clockworks levels a bit more versus the Sven, and they think that the roaming from the Sanking can actually be a bit better with the disruptor, and even like zoning the Sanking or zoning the Void, having that like direct lockdown and catch for the Void in the laning phase can actually be quite good. Okay, that's annoying.
I'm just gonna keep watching it.
Please don't.
He's being forced into an engagement though. Moon.
Playing Void versus anti-mage can be very obnoxious in the lane because you could just get, you just get mana broke all the time. So he can actually get like stunned up into mana break, glimpse back, mana break, and then he can actually be in a lot of trouble. So we'll see how Moon's able to do in this lane.
This aggressive maneuvering that, like, Moon says high up on top lane, but the rest of Team Odd moved very aggressively up to the bounty rune, so SF doesn't get that. I think they are also aware, and this is something which was flagged during IG's previous games, where they spend so long having to burn the cogs to then get the souls, and if you're running an offlane Clockwork as well, there's even less time to do it before Clockwork has to get out to the lane. So you've only got the 12 souls, I say only, but you have the 12 souls inside the SF.
They got a good block too for Planet Odd. The creeps are on his hill. He even has the lane ward as well for Weehaw, but OP gets the last hit anyway.
Yeah, he missed the block perfectly. Now rolling forward from Misery. Split Earth's going to be able to connect. SF, for all the damage you've got, all those souls you managed to pick up. Fairy Fire has to be committed underneath the tower. The Orb of Venom, the last attack from Weehaw is able to reach the Shadow Fiend.
Good roll by Misery, seeing that opportunity and seizing it. That is things. I'm thinking that's pretty much why they picked this kind of lane for him, just to bully the Shadow Fiend. Again, going in right away, get the stun, get the damage. They might actually be able to just bring him down again with the auto attacks here, diving him under the tower. One more hit and he's dead.
It's the Orb of Venom. You can't just run away from the Earth Spirit.
That's all his souls. He's down to 4, and he just TP'd back. And now the Edict even is kind of come out on the tower. So early damage already coming out for Team Odd. Or Planet Odd onto the mid lane.
Does it grate you? He's got to start grating you. Just the taunt.
I'm just ignoring it now at this point.
I keep thinking of a microwave dinner with the ting at the end of it.
But Bulk at least is there in the mid lane to get at least a bit of that experience that was being taken. Weehaw committing a secondary Edict. He's level 3, so it's level 2 Edict. He's actually getting it down to like half HP already. He's taking a couple tower hits though.
Well, by the looks of it, he's happy to accept the damage. And he's still got a salve up his sleeve as well. XSS is a little bit far out, but Misery doesn't really feel like he can commit to anything. But by moving like this, they're making sure the Clockwork's not going to get those quick levels on the offlane. Bobica's actually managed to pick up more levels as this roaming SK than the Clockwork's managed to achieve in the offlane.
Well, yeah, he got like 2 waves under the tower because Shadow Fiend dies.
That helps.
Gets a little bit of liberty from that.
Gets the bounty rune. If he actually went in for the runes for the courier snipe, he would have actually hit the perfect timing.
Yeah.
Instead, you'll send illusion in, pathing it like nothing is unusual, and having no combination. OP's got level 1 raises. There is nothing to work with there. Maybe if you had level 2 raises, that could be better.
Yeah, he's just got to play it patient now for OP. Since he lost all his souls, he's just got to sit back, farm at the tower, Can't really play too far up since they don't have that high ground vision ward. I think that's the big thing that's actually hurting him in this mid lane, is not having the vision for Misery in those first 2 roles. Usually you actually do see a lot of the Chinese teams very heavily emphasize on having that mid ward to protect their mid laner.
There's only so long Moon can get away with staying this close to the top lane. Like, Q's got level 2 at the moment. Like, he's still holding on to the extra point, see if he can use wall or not.
Yeah, he's got a Mango, though, on Moon. So even if he gets his mana burned down, he can always Mango and jump away.
True. That's just how low cost that Time Walk is as well. Only 40 mana to use it.
Yeah. I liked Burning's choice to go for the Orb of Venom, though, this game. That little extra increased damage onto Moon actually starts to up.
Well, you actually have tick damage against a hero who normally likes to repair burst damage. Well, OP's getting back on top of the CS, 15-5 to the 13-17. Sitting at max souls. That's only because he doesn't have enough levels to reach the second wave of souls.
He's losing a little bit on experience, though, because Baboka's literally just chilling mid, because he's like, I don't want any of these shenanigans to happen again. Shadow Fiend can't just die that many times in the laning phase. 2 deaths is a lot already.
XSS, Battery Assault, gonna hold Resolution in position. The creep wave's coming down.
Rezo's.
That Battery Assault's doing some work.
Is he dead?
Oh,
he's
no.
got stick charges.
He's alive. He's alive.
Whew, that was very close.
But Zuxa had to commit quite heavily as well. This is going to be the burning of both of the salves. Resolution and Zuxa have both a salve each. Even though Rez will have to switch it out of his backpack.
With the rotation from Baboka top. Haste
nice cogs. He has to get out of here, though. He doesn't want to TP, just in case there's mana for... Actually, no, the Stormbolt was already committed.
Yep.
So he can just walk it off.
Oh, and the creeps get pulled into the neutral camp. That's pretty good for Planet Odd. A little unfortunate for XXS, but they, in top lane, Baboka gets a haste rune, and they were actually able to close the gap onto Moon.
XSS is coming back in again. Battery Assault into Misery. He doesn't have enough mana for... Actually, he does, because he's got the Mango. So I was going to say, he didn't have enough mana for cogs, but he does. Contesting this, yes, Resolution will move up. Also shied the mana for Stormbolt.
Rezo's still farming great down here, even though he got pressured so hard. Even when like the full creep wave was under tower and he was at like 100 HP, he actually got... I would say a little bit lucky, but Rezo's actually very good at last hitting under tower. He got like 2 or 3 of the CS with just his cleave when he was hitting the priority target. So that was impressive last hitting coming out from Mr. Rezo.
Weeha's getting so little now. Now the SF is kind of hitting a stride.
Speak of the devil, though.
Oh, Moon glimpse him all the way back up towards the top. Lock him inside the wall. Where's your Burrow Strike? And OP, yeah, he will fall. Moon's still on the run, but the Burrow Strike's going to arrive from Mobica.
As soon as you say OP's, OP's starting to pull ahead of Weeha.
He's hitting the stride, right?
The double rotation from both Misery and Zuxa. They see the opportunity to jump in with Weeha.
Yep.
So they did have some deep wards coming out from IG. I think Baboka even placed that one ward in the mid lane behind the tower, trying to see that type of rotation coming in, but they came from the side. And OP just gets caught out from an Icarus dive roll stun.
Even for these kills, like I know you move backwards on souls, but it looks like he spent most of his money before death, so OP's not... Like, you're getting a little bit of diminishing returns when all 3 of the kills that Team Odd have managed to pick up is on OP.
It's still good because they're getting the experience, right? Like Weeha is almost level 7 compared to the level 5.5 OP.
Yeah,
it's still really relevant to be just like putting down the Shadow Fiend because he's like the main importance of the entire draft in a way. The thing is that they do have an anti-mage as well, and anti-mage is full free farming.
Resolution walked into the second cog and burned the last point of his mana. I don't know if he's just trying to have less mana, but
it's pretty hard to kill Clockwork at this stage with their heroes anyway. They have to have pretty much God. I think they actually have to have God strength to bring him down.
But he's always like sitting on almost no mana. The cogs from XSS are just being so good in their harassment. Nice Observer Ward down from Misery. Gonna go very deep in behind, well not very deep, just behind the tier 1 tower, but saw Bobica's movement off to the side.
He wants to farm this big camp. That's what Planet Odd's been doing. They've been constantly stacking this over and over again. Baboka notices that, makes his way down.
Misery's going to initiate OP under the tower. Q's going to be here, can wall him up and try and hold him in position. There's no Requiem of Souls. Here comes your hook shot. XSS going to be there in time. You will still get the kill going the way for Lashrak. Q and XSS will mop up the pieces.
Was he able to purchase anything before he died? I think he actually did. I think he finished his Ring of Aquila right before he died.
He did.
So he's not really losing that much gold, but Weeha is pulling a bit ahead in that net worth advantage. But that was a good rotation coming out from both Q and XSS. They're able to get some much-needed experience on the Disruptor. He's almost level 6 on Disruptor just from chain pulling over and over again. And since Baboka's just been running around, he's had the liberty of doing that one. And XXS, of course, beautiful TPing out from him. As soon as he gets hookshot online, he's able to use it.
It feels, again, like Invictus Gaming are not running a 3-core lineup. They're running a 4-core. Like, the SK has the same amount of net worth as the Faceless Void, and that's support versus offlane. Then you have the Clockwork, who's sitting at like 2.4k, a long way up, and now going to catch Weeha. He can let the Pulse Nova and Edict go. The kick is not enough space. Rocket Flare was a rolling ball of forward. Really looking for revenge. Bobica coming up behind. You can steal a bounty. We're in a misery. Has he actually got anything to get out of this one? XSS is thinking about coming back in. SF rotating over from the mid. Misery has to play around his own ward. He knows this, but hook shot over. Burrow strike right now. And XSS will take the kill as Planet Odd really trying to be the aggressors, but getting punished for it by Invictus Game. Clockwork is now 4th in net worth.
This clock is an issue for sure. He's not really like, he didn't like pressure the spend too much in farm mode, but he was able to get his levels, clean rotations come out. He's ahead of the Shadow Fiend on net worth. That tells its own tale.
Yep. ESF can play catch-up now. Like,
yep.
OP just goes to the jungle, you prep your stacks, you flash it up, come back into the lane. Like, the only issue you're going to have is Weeha's probably going to take your mid-tier 1 tower. So they'll need to do something about that.
Yeah, he's got Max Edict. Is there a glyph available? There is. They'll probably expend it for this one. They do. And OP's able to pull the creeps off the tower. And now the port coming in from Q.
Well,
he's got ulti.
The stun from Weeha, the wall, it doesn't actually hold him in position. And he needs mana. Sunray kicks in from Zuxa, and it's just safety heal more than anything else. IG broke off the chase.
That was actually a very nice play from Wee there. That's one of those situations when the Disruptor, you want to get the glimpse back, but Wee just turns and mans up, and he's able to clear him, and now he's going to even secure the tower for himself. That being said, though, XSS is making the rotation toward mid. There is a heavy commitment, though, from Planet Odd. Don't think they're going to respond to that.
They brought resolution in as well. The rolling boulder will connect. Bobica being kicked down. You'll have to Burrow strike up to the Ancients, take even more damage. But Burning knows something's coming for him. Mr. Battle Fury. Mr. I want to farm until my heart is content. The rest of Planet Odd is coming in. The time he does the pull is the time Weeha and Misery move to the top lane. So he's going to lose the creep wave as well.
Yeah.
Not certain this is the greatest time for him.
Yeah, Weeha's going to take the whole stack too.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
For Invictus Gaming, yep. Well, it's SXS.
However,
okay, you've got Smoke, Rocket, Vision, perfect hook shot. That Pulse Nova, Weeha's already pretty low. A blink into a Mana Void. There she is. There's the damage you're worried about. And Faceless Void can't get outside of the Storm Q. They will both be lost. Planet Odd was bringing in reinforcements. In fact, everybody came to the top lane, but the damage is already done.
Now you see, it was a plan by Burning. He's like, I'm going to pull this, they're going to go to farm it, and my boys are going to smoke in, wrap around, and get this beautiful hook shot from XXS.
You're 100% correct. They just got mind-gamed. He is an amazing player, and we should all respect this fact.
Well, they did know that the rotation was going to come in. They definitely expected that to happen, and that's why they smoked and started making that move. The pull, okay, sure, he sacrifices his creeps a little bit, but he puts them in a very disadvantageous position. And just very clean execution from both Q and XSS. Q is level 7 on Disruptor. This is like the dream for Disruptor so far. Level 11, or 11 minutes, almost level 8. Having heavy impact.
Here they come again. Invictus Gaming, Burning is doing that old school tactic of retreat.
Yep.
Get away from this fight. Let the SK finish up his Blink Dagger. And find another camp to farm.
Edict is just way too strong early on to be able to push those towers to contest unless you're ahead.
So just go for the trade-off. Tier 1 tower in mid looks good.
Yep. Get that trade going.
Actually going to God Strength as well for this top lane. They want to do it quickly and get into the mid.
Moon is setting up to defend in mid. So they actually are thwarted from pushing that, getting a trade-off. Rezo now. Does he have any Ancient stacks? He does. So he ports mid. He's trying to make that maximum efficiency of his God Strength. And he's going to be able to farm that one up.
XSS is going to find Resolution.
That being said, though,
God Strength is... Wait. Rocket, get some vision. He's thinking about it. Static Storm is available from Q, but they're not certain of the vision that Resolution has around here.
It's a bad place to fight, right
On
next
top
to the
of Shrine.
shrine. Yeah, it's just not good. They don't see anybody else on the map except for Weehaw. They're like, that's like one of the
Get
worst
out of
places.
there. Bobrica, he just burrows, tried to farm the lane, wants to start any kind of, like, okay, yeah, no TP, no joy. Sandstorm, evade to the trees, Sunray from Saxka. Saxa, able to find him. Just balls.
Yep. IG's just trying to make some trades happen because they have the late game. Oh, not entirely, but they do have anti-mage going towards the late game, which is always extremely beneficial. So they're just...
It's burning anti-mage as well going to the late game.
They have a dual core with it, so it's quite nice. OP's going to be going for his standard build on the Shadow Fiend, going for that Shadow Blade.
Nice initiation as long as they don't bring a large amount of detection against him.
I think I see him get it every game. I think I've seen him only do it once where he rushes the Dragon Lance. He just really likes having this type of item, just getting those type of like pick-offs on anybody on the sides, just being able to access the back line with this.
And there's nothing he really has to dispel, right? Like, it's not like he's going up against a Slaughter and he's the man to dispel alpha amplification.
Yeah, and BKB versus like Sven and Void, eventually, sure, but getting it early on is never really what you want to do on a Shadow Fiend. Or on majority of cores, because you don't want that to just... It pretty much like slows you down in a way. They're giving a lot of space to Baboka to farm. They are just jungling on both of the main cores, on Burning and OP, while Baboka pushes lanes down and tries to farm that Blink Dagger. That's really their big thing next, is getting that Blink for their big team fight, because right now it's just this Disruptor. Bottom lane, Moon is going to be the culprit.
Perfect Storm. They can just battery assault him down the rest of the way. And you can see Moon taunt twitching in the middle of the circle.
I see what you did there, the Perfect Storm.
Who was in that movie?
I don't know.
It was terrible.
It's a good book. I think.
I only ever watched the movie. Well, Resolution's now going to show himself. XSS is TPing out. They're looking for a different opening.
He's ready.
There's a hook shot down. They look for Misery. Interesting.
Getting lots of pickoffs right now from IG. All over the place.
With the Observer Wards they had, actually, they don't see up near the Shrine. The Observer Wards from Planet Odd, they watch the southern and the northern side of the Roshan pit, but they don't see anything into Invictus Gaming's jungle, really.
Yeah, usually versus like Anti-Mage and even like Shadow Fiend, you want to get a very deep ward. They do have like the one, it's not super deep, but you usually want to have one to scout out where the Anti-Mage is at least playing.
Rolling
mid
ball.
lane.
There's your silence on the Anti-Mage. It's not going to last long enough. Burning.
Very close to that battle fury.
If they killed him then, they would have actually delayed the battle fury, but now he's not.
Yep, now he's got it finished up.
So 16-minute battle fury.
The Treads and Orb of Venom, pretty good.
Yeah, not too shabby. And OP is...
Top lane.
You know what? Was going through my head just before this happened, just like it was in the mid lane.
Oh, is he dead though?
Yeah, he's dead. Just in the mid lane, it's like, man, he's #1 in the net worth. He's looking really good again. Nope. Planet Odd will shut him down.
Just hope that Toby is not a fan of your team, guys.
It's just why Na'Vi wins.
Bottom lane, XXS going to be able to siege the tower up. They are able to claim it for IG. So he has his Blade Mail finished up. Blade Mail is amazing versus Leshrac, because Lesh has a lot of uncontrollable damage that he outputs. So if he's able to get on top of Weehaw in these type of engagements, Weehaw will actually just kill himself on it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Same thing versus Phoenix even. You just Blade Mail run into Sunray.
Come at me, bro.
Yep.
Well, still not feeling that power from a Sven. Like, I know the old tale with Sven was always you need to be like 2k in front of everybody else just because of the way the hero functions and the way the hero should be farming. But right now, he's still behind the Anti-Mage, and he's not that far ahead of the SF. Mr. I've been ganked 5 times, probably more actually, and only died 5 times. He's still got more net worth than the Leshrac.
He's lost a lot of access into his own jungle. Like, they've had a couple stacks and stuff for him there, but he's not able to, like, you know, get those like massive stacks going along or anything. He's close though. He's got S and Y. He's got Mask of Madness finished up. He's level 12, so he's got like he's gonna have like 2,500 HP when he does pop the God Strength. So he is fairly tanky. But the thing is that IG has a lot to deal with that. Like we mentioned, the Clockwork is one of the best at playing versus it. And they have a lot of magic damage on IG. The Sand King, Disruptor, Shadow Fiend even. So I clicked on Burning and I saw him actually have a Ring of Health on top of his Battle Fury.
You know what he wants. The Glimpse, the Wall, the Storm. It's not perfectly laid, however. So Sven can still Warcry into safety. OP was starting the Requiem Assaults, cancelled by Weeha, Split Earth, and the Icarus dive forward. Just a couple of spirits out, and Misery, Bobaka, he blinked in, blocked the rolling boulder, and made it so he could save his core.
That was such a bro move. Bro Boca. That was great, actually. He just blinks right in front of it. But now they do get a big opportunity here. Going into Roche Pit, God Strength online, Mask of Madness. They should be able to take this one down with ease.
Clockwork Rocket, I think, yeah, it flew up towards the Ancient area. It didn't go into Roshan. So Invictus Gaming won't have vision of this at all.
Okay, so Burning went for a Vanguard next. I was like trying to think of why he got the Ring of Health so early, but he wants to be a little bit more tanky versus the Sven and versus the Void, so he can try to survive that Chronosphere. Like we said, they don't really have great damage besides magical inside of the Chronosphere. So if he's able just to survive that one, they're disable, they have Sven and Earth Spirit and stuff like that, but it's not really super reliable. So if he can actually just blink away, he can survive in majority of those instances. But yeah, Aegis now picked up now for Weeha, as you mentioned. He's got 13 charges on Bloodstone, level 13. He's feeling pretty good.
Finally, a way where you can make sure your Bloodstone charges don't get lost.
Yep. Not to worry too much about the Blade Mail either. Sure, you might kill yourself on it, but you're going to bring him down and you come back to life.
Yep. It means they can also be a little bit more aggressive pushing into these towers. Don't let the status quo continue where Invictus Gaming are just farming onto Burning, and he is so far ahead. He's the first one to hit the 5 digits in the net worth. Sven and Lashrak are still playing catch-up here. And they don't have their initiation, so it is just a walk-at-you lineup. That Blink Dagger, still not up for resolution.
Moon went for Midas,
some Y instead.
Yeah, Moon went for Midas instead of going for the straight-up Blink Dagger too. He's going to be getting it quite soon because they're going to be claiming a lot of objectives here, where IG just goes for the split push with their lineups, and they don't want to fight into Aegis right now.
Coming from behind, that Earth Spirit gets in, able to get the silence. Shadow Fiend got his invis off. The Glimpse, Resolution all the way back up to the top, but it won't be enough to save the SF. In fact, Resolution will be happy with this. He can continue to farm. The fight doesn't really break out.
Crisp rotations from Planet Odd. Good defense of defense of the tower, but almost defense of the tower.
But then this continues. Like, okay, so you have the top lane momentum. Burning just starts creep skipping.
Yep.
TP's around, does what Burning does best.
They delay the Shadow Fiend's BKB though a bit. He was fairly close to it.
Did he actually just pick up a Yasha?
On who?
Oh no, it's because I'm clicking too quickly.
I was so confused. I was like, what? No.
Yeah, I'm like, why is there a Yasha? It's because I was clicked on Anti-Mage and it was sitting above him.
Your APM is too high, Toby, for your own good.
My IPM. Can I have an IPM? My eyes move faster than my hands. Overcut, double Burrow Strike. The tower's still going to go down the Radiant side. Hook shot in on the back lines. They're trying to control the Phoenix, and they don't actually have enough for it. The kick as well as the silence. It was too good for Misery. The Nova should be able to connect Anti-Mage. Where is this damage? Where is it? It's just not there. Blink. He's done the control. It is there. Burning will fall. 3 down for Invictus Gaming. Access is ticking out to Magnetize, but he'll survive. Reaching back to the tier 3 tower, and OP is the man who has to defend this.
There's no buyback on Burning either. This could just be a Rax giving up. Those were some clutch bashes coming out from Moon. I think he got like 2 or 3 after the chrono ended.
Oh, Shadow Fiend disconnecting, being one of the 2 sole survivors for Invictus Gaming. That's not a good thing.
That was some chain of events right there. The mid kill onto Shadow Fiend into a huge team fight. Big Supernova on top of the Boulder Smash from Misery. And Resolution just able to whack the Anti-Mage after the bashes coming out from Moon.
Can't believe that. Like, he did more damage outside of Chrono than they did inside the Chrono.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be happening. But
I was gonna say too, like them going for like that kind of defense on that tier 2 right there just seemed very. I mean, you can see what they wanted to do there, but they got turned around so hard when they're playing versus this type of lineup. It's one type of mistake like that can really forfeit a lot. But Boca just coming in, it's done.
Oh, Odd had a moment to think about things, and they have just decided to retreat.
Yep.
Everyone's back up apart from Burning. But with the tier 3 tower down, they can move over towards the shrines. It's a big one as well. It's the Dire Shrine, which gives access to Roshan.
Yeah. They don't have God Strength ready, so claiming the Rex was actually impossible. And it's the smarter decision to make versus Disruptor, in hindsight.
Interesting to see now how IG approach the next, I want to say next 10, 15 minutes of the game. Like, do you try and push it out yourself? Do you become the aggressors and just do this 4 and let Burning do whatever the hell he wants?
Once he's got BKB, once OP has BKB, then they can actually like look to try to do some stuff, but they still have to play really well around the Chronosphere and get him inside of like, get a Sanking Stun into Disruptor Ultimate, and then once Void's out of there, then they can actually take some fights properly.
Rolling Boulder, looking for Bobica, the perfect kick and silence, meaning SK can't just Burrow strike himself away, and with a Storm Bolt and the God Strength, Resolution was really trying to make sure he had the damage to bring down the SK before the Burrow Strike would be completed.
Yeah, I think ever since that the situation that happened versus VP, he like held on to his God Strength like one situation. I think never again, Brezzo says. He's like, I will overkill you, but I am killing you.
He can actually take this tower by himself now.
Yep.
Level 1 tower, no backdoor regenerations for these suckers. Also, no fortification available for Invictus Gaming until the tower falls.
Barely even used his sword there. He was just beating it with his shield. Good old Sven.
Got my smashing board.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Alright, with the extra cleave and with the help of Weeha, this tier 2 tower doesn't really stand a chance. Edict could do so much work.
Planet Odd's looking very good right now. Like Blink Dagger finished up on Misery after that engagement. Midas was finished a while ago on Saksa. He's on his way to his Shivas. He's got level 14, close to 15. Everything's starting to just up and up after that whole entire mid-engagement.
Question is, how far can they take it? You got a smoke maneuver now coming out from Invictus Gaming. Looking for
Aegis just gets
some
reclaimed.
opening.
Yep.
Yeah, and what a timing for it. The smoke runs into the smoke. The cogs don't get up in time. The storm cuts the fight, but then so does the Chronosphere of Moon. Bobica and XSS have no presence here whatsoever. 2 heroes down. The Nova will actually connect too. OP's gone. Invictus Gaming almost wiped from the face of the earth, apart from Moneybags.
The 2 big initiators got caught on IG. The Clockwork and the Sanking get grabbed in the Chronosphere right away, unable to use pretty much all of their spells. And Burning just sits on the sideline being like, I can't go into this, guys.
Well, SF can buy back, but without souls, he ain't going to be too good. And, well, he's going to do it anyway.
Defend the racks.
And it looks like Team Mod are going to be okay with this.
Yeah.
As I said before, like, God Strength disappears, and what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to risk it, right? Like, they just won, like, 2 pretty handed team fights. So they don't staying on the high ground there after a buyback is just way too risky.
Burning is now finding he's lost. He hasn't lost both of the camps, just one of them.
Yeah.
To the Observer Ward.
Close to the Manta style. That's where he can actually start fighting with his team a bit. If he can get on top of the last track when all the rest of the disables are used, he can actually become a relevant force into the fights. But there is just, you know, there's a lot of stun now when they have like the increased setup. I love the build that's coming out from Weeha too. He's going okay, actually never mind. He switched it up. I saw him actually have the Hex queued up, and then he switched. He had the Atos queued up, then he switched it to Hex, and now he's got just the ulti orb into bots. So he'll probably get. I think he might get the Hex afterwards, if not a Linken's. But either way, those are all those choices are very good versus the anti-mage.
All right, so IG to change the pace of this game. They are still 1 game up in the series, so the pressure is more on Planet Odd. And Burning just has the pressure to continue his farm. Mandasar, Battle Fury, Vanguard now looking to line up the Basher into Abyssal.
It's all about the initiation in these fights. If XXS is able to isolate either the Phoenix or the Earth Spirit or something, or even afterwards get the Sven
OP.
after they kill Sanking, then it's very big.
He attacked him. Saxka just TP'd out. I don't know if XSS could have just gone for the hook shot there.
I think they're just a bit afraid.
Yeah.
They don't see anybody in the enemy jungle. They only see like 1 hero in mid. They don't really know where everybody else is at the moment.
Bobica's looking for his own farm in mid. Last time that happened, Misery initiated on him. This time Bobica ready to TP away before he gets kicked. The blink from Misery really does catch you by surprise.
He's in trouble. If he gets hit by the stun, he could actually go down here.
He got hit by it.
He's got blink up. Will Rezo be able to find him?
The trees, start the TP, no stun, glimpse, and then Chrono! Oh, he ticks out just before it. The Chrono will still hold Sven as well as we are in position for half a second. But no
Whatever.
burning for 70 seconds. He
Yep.
spent his money.
Oh, he did actually. Yeah, you're right. We remember he finished up the Manta style. So
He's short by 322 gold.
that was a big jump there from Rezo. Just he God Strength blinks in since he was level 18 for that one. It's the max level God Strength. His damage is actually absurd onto the anti-mage, and then Weehaw with the follow-up.
OP wants to let the ulti go. They have the sentry ward as, well, Moon starts time dilation. BKB from OP, now Requiem of Souls flies out, at least negating some of the damage, but Resolution could just stand it out. The Nova finishes its hit, and then maybe with a hook shot, Zuxka? No, Misery back into the fray with the silence. They've got it. The perfect Sunray, the double kill for Phoenix. And with 4 heroes down with no buybacks available, and that is, in fact, GG was the point I was just about to reach. Invictus Gaming realized it just at the same time. It is over. We're going to a third.
Really well played fights coming out from Planet Odd. It looked like IG was pulling into like a little bit of a good position when they were splitting up the map a lot and getting some good smoke rotations, but then it was just Planet Odd with some very nice